Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. As we gather to bring Conventus 2025 to a close, let's take a moment to reflect on this incredible 3 day journey. Throughout Conventus 2025, our 12 power packed summits became a confluence of ideas, insights, and inspiration, each offering a glimpse into the boardroom of tomorrow. First, let us take a moment to experience the spirit and vision behind this conclave through a short audio-visual presentation on Conventus 2025.
India, the nation of young hearts, stands at a new dawn, brimming with a vibrant generation, restless yet rooted, bold yet balanced, not waiting for a seat at the table, but redefining the very room at large.
As boardrooms evolve and the sidelines become the stage, we find ourselves at a pivotal point where lines between hierarchy and harmony blur, and wisdom finds its echo in youth.
Learnings from history, hope for the present, and dream for the future. They have it all.
A nation has come of age, and at Conventus 2025, we are writing its story. Here, courage is the currency and ideas are influence. So let's join hands to welcome the emerging dawn, to anticipate, shape, and embrace the change that will define our future.
What a memorable 3 day journey it was. We started off the event with wise words from Mr. Ritesh Chandra, Managing Partner of Vendors Future Leaders Fund, that always think about how you can innovate yourself, your workplace, and your way of thinking. From there, every summit became a reflection of evolving leadership.
At the HR Summit, Mr. Arundham Lehri, Head of Talent Management at Jindal Stainless, emphasized that learning has to be engineered into culture to gain a sustained competitive advantage. And at the Women's Leadership Summit, Ms. Neha Khatri, CEO of Ellis, inspired us to stay aspirational and never let others drill down your dreams. Each of these conversations reaffirmed that leadership today is no longer defined by hierarchy or authority. It has been redefined by purpose, empathy, and innovation.
On behalf of IMI Delhi, I, Charu, and my co-host Sukhanreet are thrilled to drive you through this closing ceremony. We extend our heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed guest, Mr. Bipul Chandra, Managing Director of Ducati India Private Limited, Dr. Professor Sonu Goyal, Dean Academics, Mr. Rajendra Singh, Registrar and Chief Administrative Officer, Secretary IMI Society and BOG, Mr. Amit Abrol, Head Career Services, Ms. Vibha Kumar, Head Career Services Delhi Campus, Mr. Vishwesh Ranjan, Head Executive Education, and our esteemed audience. May I now invite Dr. Professor Sonu Goyal, Dean Academics, to welcome our chief guest by presenting a token of appreciation.
Over the past 3 days, Conventus 25 has showcased the strength of collaboration, emphasizing the power of unity between human talent and technology. Through 12 summits together, we have reimagined boardrooms, not just ready for future, but ready to lead it with empathy, courage, and foresight. We are privileged to have with us our Dean Academics, Dr. Professor Sonu Goyal ma'am, a respected academic leader and professor of business corporate strategy and sustainability at IMI Delhi. A PhD from Faculty of Management Studies, University of Delhi, she brings extensive experience in strategy, entrepreneurship, and sustainability, and has played a pivotal role in strengthening IMI's academic vision and excellence. Her work bridges academia and practice, guiding organizations through growth with responsible leadership, reflecting her commitment to advancing sustainability and ethical business practices. It gives me a great honor to now invite Dr. Professor Sonu Goyal ma'am to address the gathering.
A very good evening and a very hearty welcome to Mr. Chandra on this valedictory session, and to our very respected colleagues and students here. And it's a Sunday evening, so I'm sure there is a lot of meaningful discussion and discourse that's going to happen, and you can look forward to that. But let me also say that these 3 days that we have gone through, I think very happening, I must say. 12 summits, and I think I was told that there were around 60 speakers who came for different summits. And I think more than 500 students participated. So very eventful and very happening. The campus has been literally buzzing with a lot of sounds and good conversations and discussions and happening all over. So fantastic job done by the students. It's completely student driven. The Conventus, which is an annual conclave which we hold once a year, it's completely student driven. As I was telling you, that there's very little intervention by the faculty or the any other administration. It's purely their brainchild. How they decide the theme, how they curate the summits, how they call the speakers, everything is driven by them. How they also engage and partner with the sponsors, which is also completely driven by them. So congratulations to all the students and the student bodies who have been able to achieve this. In these last 3 days, in these 12 summits, they are completely discipline driven, which basically means that they are very function specific. We would have had a summit on marketing and operations and supply chain and sustainability and women leadership. So there are multiple cultural societies and committees, and they all conduct these summits. And every summit is moderated, and then of course multiple panel members who come, and all of them are extremely respected industry leaders. So it's wonderful because a lot of new ideas and new thoughts are put on the table. The students are able to learn a lot because they tend to see how the practitioners are viewing the future of their industries, how things are changing, how things are transforming. So it's pretty much learning beyond the classroom. And that literally gets inspired by a lot of thought and discussion which happens in this auditorium. And it's been a wonderful 3 day. Interestingly, all these 3 days I was also on campus, and I could see the inspired I would say the environment and the air where people were talking and discussing things, and everybody very formally dressed, which is something which we are not very used to because most of us are always very casually dressed. But this was something, and as Mr. Chandra was just saying, he has got so used to wearing jeans and just a t-shirt and whatever, which resonates with the kind of business he's in. But interestingly, in academics, we still hold a lot of formality on formal events. So you could see a lot of our students here in formal suits and all dressed up for the occasion. So thank you so much for being here with us, and we look forward to hearing from you. And I'm sure all of you are also ears for all that. So thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am, for your kind words and unwavering support. We are delighted to have with us Mr. Bipul Chandra, Managing Director of Ducati India Private Limited. With more than 2 decades of experience in the ultra-luxury to mass market products, Sir has held influential roles at prestigious organizations including Ashok Leyland, Tata Motors, Bajaj Auto Limited, and Berger Paints Limited. His professional journey reflects a deep understanding of consumer behavior, channel development, and market positioning, shaped through years of hands on experience with global automotive brands. Thank you for joining us today. Now, I kindly request Sir to address our gathering with his valuable insights. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us in welcoming Mr. Bipul Chandra.
Good evening, and thank you for having me here. Dean ma'am, respected faculty members, and all the students. I was just sharing with ma'am the picture what we had clicked in Italy last week. I was there for a meeting, and just like this only. But yes, I 100% agree to what ma'am has said. You must dress for the occasion. So if the occasion demanded formal clothing, then it's very nice, and you must dress for the part also. So you still have lots of years left for the career, and whenever you go for an interview, for a client meeting, a pitch, whatever, then you need to dress for that role, that job, that part. So don't get inspired only by my dressing, because that is the part now, not earlier. So having said this, let me come back to some Gyan session, which I am sure you already would have got pretty tired by these 3 days. By the end of these 3 days, in no mood of any Gyan further, correct? Yes or no? A polite murmuring gives me enough idea. No issue. I won't take much of a time, 5, 7, 10 minutes at best. But yes, I think conclusion of any event is very important. Rounding off that event, time to share my thoughts with all of you young guys. You are first and second year students, so some of you would be almost 28 years junior to me. Some of you would be 29 years junior to me. Good enough to call me as your guardian and parent kind of thing. My own son is just slightly younger than you. He will be appearing for class 12th board next year, so not much of a difference now. And moving forth, I think this is slightly issue, but okay. See, I have been told that the theme of these 3 days was what happens or when the Gen Z or the current generation takes the boardroom. So everyone would have given their own ideas, share of mind space and everything. I would not be severely different, because ultimately we got a common way of thinking. All the managers after certain age, they think in the similar way. So I will also be not much very different. I'll try to repeat what they would have said in my own way. The important part is to understand you are part of a very lucky generation. Why lucky? Probably in your class 10, 12th, you would not have got to study because of COVID. Is that so? Definitely not. Why lucky? See what happens. Every generation thinks that we are the best, or we had to endure the largest amount of trouble and problem. For us, the elder generation used to say, हम लोग street light में पढ़ते थे. So that was their challenge. हम क्या कहते हैं? Our generation, which has actually become like dinosaur now. So what we say, we are one generation who has seen anything and everything. So right from cassettes to Spotify. You guys would have not seen the cassette. Probably. Some of you, because of your parents, right? You would have seen. But generally, you would not have played a tape recorder, which we had. So every generation has to say that, हमारे time पे ऐसा होता था. Why I still say that you guys are the luckiest of the currently available generations, right from your grandparents, parents, people like us, and now you guys. Because you guys are one generation who has seen the latest technology right from your earliest days. When we started our careers, the internet in India was still in infancy. But when you started your school days and career, internet was very strong and booming, and with the Reliance 3G and 5G now, the data is worth nothing. When we got the first smartphones, we used to get 1 GB data per month. Now, when you spend 1 GB, you don't even know. In single day, you spend those 1 GB data doing something constructive, and someone would spend that in watching reels. So that's why I said you guys are one of the luckiest generation, because you have access to one of the best tech available. But with that tech availability comes the most serious part of responsibility. And that, I think, is where your transformation into being a board member comes in. You need to be aware of your responsibilities. You have this burden of inheritance. You guys are one of those generation where maximum number of innovators come from now, right? The way we have seen startups in India mushrooming and doing good also, it was never before. There was no concept of startup. There were companies, we jokingly used to say Lala companies, but they have been given a very glamorous and romantic name now, startup. Some of them they do very good, some of them they fail. But okay, there is no harm in trying, no harm in doing something good. But yes, I was just hearing to some words like empathy, purpose. That is very important. Just to build upon what my earlier speakers would have said, see, you guys need to understand that you are here with certain purpose. You need to spend your time here, 2 years time, in the most constructive way, learn certain basic tenets of business. Correct. And then build upon that. So probably you are one of those innovators whose presence in the boardroom would mean a hell lot of a difference. You would not like to hold back, but then you must also understand what to say, when to say, what not to say. That is more important. See, what to say, when to say, probably you can learn. But what not to say and when not to say is something which you need to learn. There is always a better way of saying or a good way of saying a bad thing. I am not asking you to sugarcoat. But then it is not good also to say that you are an idiot. Probably saying your mental faculties leave me somewhere else is a better way. Okay, jokes apart, but your presence in the boardroom, I am sure, will make a genuine difference. Why? Because you are one of those fearless generations. I am sure in these 2 years you will hone your skills to ask questions. And this is our Indian way of living, to ask questions. Nowadays, my latest interest is into knowing about our own Ved and Upanishad and whatnot. So I try to, I'm not saying I have read any of them. That will be too tall a claim. But I try to get as much information as I can. And one thing which has remained with me since my childhood days, even when you guys were not born. But you would have heard about a book called Discovery of India by Pandit Nehru. Have you heard? Great. So there was a serial made by Doordarshan called Bharat Ek Khoj. People will remember. कभी आप लोग उसको YouTube पे खोजना. भारत एक खोज की जो शुरुआत होती है ना, जो very first few minutes, they start with a Sanskrit hymn. That hymn is known as actually hymn of creation. और उसको ऋग्वेद में कहते हैं नासदीय सूक्त. That's an amazing thing. That simply talks about what the universe was when there was nothing. But then as you progress, there are lines which compel you to ask questions. So I am taking that round and round story, making that story to put forth the point. You should never lose the habit of asking questions. See, asking an idiotic question also is not bad. But making a mistake because of not asking a question because of fear or favor, that will be bad. Now don't ask a question just to embarrass someone. तुम्हें जवाब आता है लेकिन सामने वाले को नीचा दिखाने के लिए पूछ लिया, वो गलत बात है. और फिर बाद में करो देखो उसे नहीं आता था. ये एक कौन सा जोक था, ये अच्छी बात नहीं है, नहीं ऐसा अटल जी कहते थे, sort of. So I'm trying to, after your 3 days of rigorous schedule, I'm trying to put some humor into the discussion. But do not belittle someone, but ask question. The day you will stop asking question, the day you will stop having this habit of asking question, that day you are dead. And therein I think the fearlessness of your generation will be put to test, and I'm sure you will come out with flying colors. Coming back to the startup thing, I was watching an interview of Steve Jobs. I'm sure he does not need any introduction. And when he came back to Apple after the disaster of what Apple was going through, he said that we used to run Apple like startup, even when the startup word was not famous. So there were very few people, one head of some vertical, one head of some vertical and whatnot. And every week, for one day, they used to meet for 3 hours and used to thrash out all the points, whatever they had in between. Why? So why he used to say that as startup? The decision making was very fast. Again, coming back to all of you, in today's time, with all the tech available at your fingertips, with all the trainings given to you during these 2 years, and you will not become board member from the day one. So don't worry. With all the training you will receive in coming years, I am sure your habit of asking questions, utilizing tech at the best situation in the best way possible, and as I also heard about hierarchy and all those things, hierarchy is passe now. So not disrespecting older people like me, but respecting them in a better way, utilizing that time in a better way. I am sure you will make the difference which is required. So I've spoken of couple things in very disconnected way, but if you look at all those points, what I'm trying to convey is never fear, never stop asking question, but the questions should be intelligent. They should not be making someone feel belittled. You should always make honest mistakes. There is no problem. But okay, not to force someone into doing something wrong. Similarly, you should respect hierarchy, but that does not hinder your business, your progress, your growth. Just because someone is old, you should not open your mouth is not the right way, is not the correct way. As I said, there is always a good way of saying a bad thing. So in a way, you should put forth your situation. Transparency. You should always be transparent. Never ever be opaque or into a gray area. Never operate into a gray area. In today's time, this is something which is highly valued. And one thing which I always say to everyone, always keep your moral compass pointing north. Can you understand this? Today probably you may not have seen situations like this, but in years to come, you will have to go through situations wherein probably you will have to take a decision. There will be ethical dilemma, what to do, what not to do. मैं ये करूँ, मेरा दोस्त मर जाएगा in the sense there will be some problem. I am not talking about the literal sense, it's a metaphor. मैं ऐसा कर दूँ या probably अगर मैं ऐसा कर दूँ तो मेरा खुद का promotion खराब हो जाएगा. There will be lots of ethical dilemma in your life, correct? But then let me assure you, foregoing a promotion or coming out very clean in some situation will always be good and better in the longer term. देखो जिंदगी 1 साल 2 साल एक प्रमोशन एक ट्रांसफर इससे नहीं बनती है. Your career would be of 35-40 years post your MBA. Correct. When you are in a situation to take decisions, whether you are an area manager, I am talking from the sales perspective, but that can be any position, regional manager, national head, chairman of the board of directors, whatever position you may be holding, your decision will have the power to impact lives of many people, both in the good and the bad way. If your ethics are not properly grounded, you will not be in a position to take the right kind of decision, which in the times to come will come back to haunt you. I can tell you with my experience, own and seen, decisions not taken in the best way possible, keeping ethical things in correct perspective, they come back to haunt you. Come whatever may. उस समय बड़ा अच्छा लगता है, हाँ यार ये तो निकल गया, ठीक हो गया. असाइनमेंट नहीं बनाया, टीचर को झूठ बोल दिया. You know, there was a joke, very famous joke. I'm sure you would have all have heard this at some point of time, because you have already completed your 3 or 4 years of graduation course. So पक्का सुना होगा. In one of the college एग्जामिनेशन था, 4 बच्चे देर से पहुंचे बिकॉज रात में वो सब ताश खेल रहे थे. टीचर ने पूछा क्यों लेट आए? सरकार का टायर पंचर हो गया था. आपके टीचर्स के तो वो भी स्मार्ट टीचर था. बोला ठीक है, सबको सवाल दिया अलग अलग बिठा के, और सवाल 95 मार्क्स का एक ही सवाल था, कौन सा टायर पंचर हुआ था? Obviously, 4 students, 4 tires, everyone would have given different answer. So I'm just trying to bring a smile to your faces. Don't worry about the tire. But the point is, ethics play the most important part after your knowledge. And highly knowledgeable people need not be highly ethical. And that's the problem. Whenever you will go through various case studies, there are various examples where highly knowledgeable people, great business people, they have lost their moral compass, moral bearings, and the business has come crashing down. Let us hope none of the future leaders would be from this group, in that category. I think this is too much from my side. So bringing a curtain to my monologue, I wish all the best to all of you. Do very well. Anytime you need any kind of information, guidance, session, I am always available. I am always there to lend a helping hand or a shoulder to cry upon. Don't worry, in whatever way you think. But as I said, try to utilize your 2 years here to the best possible way. Learn as much as from your teachers. Whatever you may think of about the teachers. I was a student once myself, so I know how students think about their teachers. With due regards to all the teachers. They are your teachers. They have been through what you are going through today. Right? So, give them full respect because they have experienced what you don't have. Try to talk to them as a real student. Gain as much as you can. You know, I'm very much interested into Indian mythology and all these things. So I will end up my story with my speech with one more story. When Ramayana was, the Lanka Yudh was about to end and Ravan was lying on his deathbed, Shri Ram sent Lakshmanji to Ravan. Bhai, whatever he was a Pandit. Go and take some gyan from him. So Lakshman went there and sat at the head of Ravan. भाई भैया ने भेजा है ज्ञान दो. बोला ठीक है भैया ने तो भेजा लेकिन तुमको ज्ञान दूंगा नहीं बिकॉज तुम ज्ञान पाने लायक नहीं हो. बोला क्यों? बोला सर पे बैठ के कोई ज्ञान नहीं लेता, पहले चरणों में आओ. So I just wish to put forth this point. Please make yourself worthy of getting the knowledge from them. And once you make yourself worthy of getting the knowledge, you will get the knowledge. Once you get the knowledge and keep your moral bearings and ethics, everything on track, the success will be with you. It has to come. There are no other options. Don't worry about that. Sooner or later. Don't worry about money. Don't worry about position. Don't worry about profile. Everything will fall in place in due course of time. मैं भी कितने सालों के बाद में 2019 I became MD, which is after 21 years of my profile. शुरुआत तो मैंने भी टेरिटरी मैनेजर से ही करी थी. So don't worry, things will come to you. Correct? धीरे धीरे सब होता है, हड़बड़ी में कुछ नहीं होता है. हड़बड़ी में जो करता है, they lose their moral bearings and then there will be problem. Which I hope these new or future entrants to the boardroom will not do. Best wishes. Thank you.
We now open the floor for any questions.
Good evening, sir. My name is Tanveer, and firstly, I want to thank you for this great evening. And my question for you is, what was the most difficult part of your journey, and how did you overcome that challenge?
Hi, Tanvir. See, journey of 27 years has its own ups and downs. Lot many things were there. At this moment, very difficult to pinpoint which was the most difficult. But I can tell you the positive aspect of this. So one thing which I did in my life was never say no to anything. And probably that contributed to lots of challenges in my life. Whenever my management said, you have been transferred, I never said no. So I have lived in many cities, many parts, the almost entire country I have lived into. Before joining Ducati, in those 19 years of my career, I had been transferred 17 times. So just like an army man. So you can say that was one of the most challenging time, because once I got transferred or twice I got transferred in about 1.5 years time. So balancing family, balancing new locations, even though the company was same, balancing new family also, because once I got transferred, we were about to have the baby. So these were some of the challenging times, but I never said no, and probably that gave me some benefit or edge over my colleagues. More than me, my wife had her own share of challenge, because every time I got transferred, she had to leave job. But probably the good part was during those 4 sabbaticals, she completed her own PhD. So that's what I wanted to bring out. Every challenge will give you something good. So never get bogged down by challenges. Find out what you can do. Currently, again, my wife has taken sabbatical. She's also, ma'am, she's also into academics. So she was teaching in GD Goenka and KR Mangalam. She's from computer science, PhD in computer science. But now she has, since our son cleared 10th, so she said, I will not be doing any job for 2 years now, because he's our only child. So she said, now once he goes to college, I will not get time to spend some time with him. So she has taken sabbatical. Again, she is not one to sit down. So she did a course with IIT Delhi. So now she is certified into AI/ML. The point is, challenges were there. She wanted to live in house with the son, but she didn't want to ideally live in the house. So do something. So challenges will be there. Probably the challenges are more for her than me. For me, once I go to office, I forget about home, but she had to manage all the home, everything. So, but she learned new things. She manifested her personality in a very different way, and that helped me in doing my job in a better way. So probably I cannot answer to you perfectly, I know, but I'm trying to convey my thoughts in a different way, that never get bogged down by challenges.
Good evening, sir. My name is Arya. Thank you for the wonderful session. I had one question. With technology advancing so quickly and AI robots even being trained to perform surgical operations, as a student who is interested in sales, how do you see AI or technology in a broader sense? Do you see them taking over sales jobs? And if so, how?
Good evening. See, AI is definitely all pervading, taking lots of job from us in a way. But then there are something which AI cannot take. That is my take. See, why they are taking over surgery and these things? Because they require super precision job. a change of, let us say, even 1 mm here and there, one suture here and there can create havoc with the patient. But as far as sales job is concerned, if I can refer to a book by Mr. Subrata Bagchi, right? So in his book, he lists down 3 things. I don't remember all those 3 things. First 2 things actually I don't remember. But the third thing he talks about sales is magic. You have all the things, all the data, right kind of pitch, everything is there. But then there is a magic, which in my view, only humans can give. And if machines have to give that magic, bring in that kind of magic, we are still a couple of years away. So thankfully, we are safe. But then as a salesperson, always try to bring that magic into the negotiation.
Hello, sir. My name is Nemish. Thank you for the really motivating session. Sir, you talked about how to always keep your moral compass pointing north, right? So I remember talking to one of my friends and he talked about how he wanted to do the right thing, but because he was just starting out, there was the environment was not very conducive towards him being able to do the morally right thing. So how do you hold on to, say, if you have a career of 40 years, how do you hold on to that moral compass for 40 years when everything's sort of not helping you keep the moral compass pointing north?
Hi Namish, that's a very, very important question. See, moral compass pointing north is one of the basic tenet of life. In your given perspective, in the area of operation, what you are working in the given time, you may not have all the wherewithal to take that kind of decision. But at least you must have the courage to point it out. You may not write on to Facebook and LinkedIn about something happening wrong in your company. That may be a bad way of pointing it out. But you can write it to your own boss. You can write it to HR. There will be some way of manifestation, some redressal forum wherein you can write an email, send through an WhatsApp, whatever possible, so that at least you have appraised people of that kind of situation. See, not necessary that everything will happen as per you. Not necessary that you are there to take every single decision, because every position has certain capabilities to decide. So in your position, probably you may not decide, let us say when you are beginning in the beginning of your career, but your job is to take the flag up. Again, in any organization where the hierarchy is taken seriously, or you have certain levels, you just cannot jump your bosses. So write it to your boss and then leave it. At least, see, my funda is very clear. रात में नींद आनी चाहिए. You should not sleep with the burden of conscience. At least you should have that confidence and that happiness in my mind. I have updated my senior about this. Now it is their job. And if you are thinking that no, entire ship is rotten, right from top to bottom, everyone is rotten, then probably it's time to look out for a job.
Thank you, sir, for your kind words. I am Rishabh. So you have been associated with automotive industry for a long time, and as an MBA student, I want to maybe look for consulting, finance, or several different fields. So what is that one thing that you found out that made you stick to automotive field for a long time?
That's again a very personal and interesting question. This year I completed 25 years in automobile. So yes, I have been an auto guy. See, 2 things I would say. A, I was definitely interested into automobiles since my earlier days, like most of the youngsters of my age. Since I came from a very small city, which was technical in nature, you can say. I was born and brought up in a very small city called Bokaro Steel City, which is housing India's biggest steel plant. So my father was working there and he still lives there. So that's another story. So always steel, industry, these were in general discussion in the family. And then my family members used to work for Tata Motors, then Telco. In fact, I very proudly say I am third generation Tata Motors employee of my family. So probably that also had a part in giving me an idea about auto industry. Then during my college days, I was definitely interested in a different way. In my MBA, I did a project also in automobiles. So I had that was secondary data project, but a project is a project. You get number for that. You have to clear that course and then only you will be given the degree of MBA. So I did that. And that definitely kept the flame of automobiles alive in my mind. I joined the Berger Paints because that was the only offer I had. In fact, I had two offers, C8 Tires and Berger Paints. C8 was somewhat related with automobiles, the part of your ownership. So, because still I believe, ma'am, it is part of the Sanjeev Goenka group only. Harsh Goenka, my mistake, Harsh Goenka. So, yeah, Mr. Sanjeev Goenka is based out of Calcutta. I was very sad when the daughter's shop was closed down in Cyber City. So they had a lovely shop called Au Bon Pain. So they French, yeah. So I was in Calcutta when they started with this shop in Calcutta, and then when we came to Delhi, they started here. We were very happy, good, but then they closed down. So no worries, just a small distraction. See, salespeople are storytellers by nature. So coming back, I had these two offers, and then probably I was told I had no experience about tire industry as paint industry also, but I was told by my friends and well-wishers, never go to tire industry. This is one of the worst industry. I will not say that to any one of you. I am not suggesting that tire industry is worst. That was given to me at that point of time. If you get an offer in any of the tire companies, please join. They are very good companies, very good job. Everything is very nice. So don't take my words. That was advice given to me 27 years ago. Things have changed. So please don't get guided by that advice. So I joined Berger Paints, but then somewhere down the line, I had the idea of joining automobile somewhere. Then at one point of time, I got the situation to join Bajaj Auto, which I grabbed with both the hands. And since then, I have been with the auto industry. So probably that was my interest, underlying interest in auto, and I got the offer at the right time.
With this, we conclude the Q&A session now. Thank you, sir, for your valuable insights and words. To express our heartfelt gratitude to everyone who contributed to Conventus'25, we now invite Mr. Shubham Kamli, the General Secretary, Student Council, to deliver a vote of thanks.
Good evening, everyone. As we bring Conventus'25 to a close, our 14th annual management conclave, I feel an immense sense of pride and optimism. Over the past few days, we have witnessed the power of dialogue, collaboration, and shared vision. This conclave has reminded us that when ideas are exchanged with passion and purpose, they have the ability to truly shape the future. This year's theme, When the Next Generation Guides the Boardroom, beautifully captures the transformation we are living through. The world of business is evolving faster than ever, and our generation is no longer waiting for us to lead. We are already questioning the old, embracing the new, and reimagining leadership to value people. Every conversation, panel, and session at Conventus'25 has echoed one clear message. The future belongs to those who dare to think differently. It's not just about earning a seat at the boardroom table. It's about redesigning the table itself. We have learned that leadership today is built on empathy, collaboration, and the courage to innovate even when the path ahead is not clear. What we take away from this conclave is not just insight, but conviction. The conviction that we, as young professionals, are capable of driving meaningful change. The bridges we build between generations will determine how far we go. On behalf of the Student Council, I would like to extend heartfelt gratitude to all our distinguished speakers, panelists, and guests. Your ideas and experience have challenged us to think deeper and lead bolder, and your presence has added immense value to this event. I would also like to take a moment to express our sincere appreciation to Dr. Professor Himadri Das, our Director General, Dr. Professor Sonu Goyal, our Dean Academics, Mr. Rajendra Singh Sir, Registrar and Chief Administrative Officer, Secretary IMI Society and BOG, Mr. Amit Abrol Sir, Head Career Services, Ms. Vibha Kumar Ma'am, Head Career Services Delhi Campus, Mr. Vishwesh Ranjan Sir, Head Executive Education, Dr. Professor Umesh Bhamil, Chairperson of International Relation and Exchange Program, Mr. Sandeep Yadav, Head Admissions, Marketing and Alumni Relations. A warm thanks as well as to our distinguished faculty members, our program office, Dinesh Sir, Seema Ma'am and Pankaj Sir. We cannot go ahead without extending our gratitude to our impression staff and SIS security staff for their constant guidance and encouragement. This event would not have been possible with all of your unwavering support and commitment to excellence. To all the student bodies, to every volunteer who worked tirelessly behind the scenes, your months of planning, coordination, and late nights have truly paid off. Today's success is a reflection of your dedication and teamwork. A special appreciation to the Secretary of Branding and Media Relations Committee, Mr. Tanishq Mondal, and his team for their relentless efforts in ensuring this event's success. I'll also like to acknowledge all the student bodies that conducted summits. Jagrati, the Social Responsibility Club, HR Club, Marketing Club, Academics Committee, Finance Club, Operations Club, Entrepreneurship Club, Consulting and Strategy Club, Economics Club, Center for Women's Leadership, Residential Affairs Committee, and the Information Management and Analytics Club for your tireless commitment. A heartfelt mention to the Culture and Event Management Club for organizing and executing Conventus Nights, to the Sports Club for ensuring the seamless flow of activities throughout the conclave. My gratitude also goes to the Corporate Relations Placement Committee, Alumni Relations Committee, Admissions Committee, Executive Education Committee, and Internationalization Committee for facilitating essential outreach that help bring this event to life. And finally, to all the students, thank you for your enthusiasm, participation, and energy. You are the heartbeat of Conventus, and your engagement makes this event something we look forward to every single year. As we close Conventus 25, let's remember that the next generation isn't the future, it's the present. The boardroom is already in our hands. Let's carry forward the learnings, the memories, and the legacy of Conventus with pride and purpose, ready to lead with empathy, innovation, and integrity. Thank you once again for making Conventus 25 a tremendous success. Here's to the leaders we are becoming and the change we are about to create together. Thank you.
Thank you, Shubham, for your kind words. We would like to invite Dr. Professor Sonu Goyal ma'am to kindly felicitate our esteemed guest with a token of gratitude. We would now request Devansh Agarwal. We would now request Devansh Agarwal, President of the Student Council, to felicitate our Dean Academics, Dr. Professor Sonu Goyal ma'am. We would now like to invite our chief guest and Sonu ma'am, along with all the dignitaries and members of the Student Council, to please come up on the stage for a group photograph. With that, we officially bring Conventus 2025 to a close.
We would like to express our heartfelt thanks to all our guests, speakers, professors, students, and staff for making this event a resounding success. Thank you all for your participation, enthusiasm, and energy over these past 3 days. We hope you leave today with new insights, inspiration, and connections that will continue to thrive.
Thank you for your unwavering support and commitment. Your hard work is truly appreciated.
To everyone who played a role in making Conventus 25 a success, thank you for your passion, creativity, and commitment. This event wouldn't have been possible without you all.
Thank you once again for being a part of Conventus 2025. This is Charu
and Sukhandeep signing off.
We now request our chief guest and all the dignitaries to proceed to the committee room for tea and refreshments.